stream live. You pack a serious punch, Maeve. I'm impressed. Just tell I'm live again. The crystal is chosen well indeed. I acknowledge your strength, Noctis. Yours and your companions both. Man, what is it with gods and trials? Do you always have to be so skeptical? Yay, I live. So it is decreed, at the world's peril do we grant our power to the untested. I like how she's basically like, yeah, we do. Congrats, Sid. Apologies for the delay. She's not like anything I've seen before, so it took me a while to get acquainted, but the regalia is as good as new. Seriously? I hear you big time. Noctis, there is much you have left undone on Eos. Your presence here is an anchor, allowing me to link the two worlds. For you, I shall open the way. Tarry not, for the gate cannot remain open for long. Got it. Thanks. Throw wide the gate. Honestly, that open up the gate, stop having it be closed, was me yesterday trying to get home. Divinities. 1 minute they're trying to kill you, the next they're helping you. I'll never understand them. Me fucking too, buddy. Thanks for the company, Maeve. It was nice going around with you. Aw, okay. Take care of business back home. She's dope. They're dope. You bet I will. And when everything's sorted, maybe we can hang out again. Noctis, your hair textures are weird and I don't like them. I've got a promise to keep after all. Take care now. Vroom vroom. See what I mean about the— ah! Ha! It's bright. See what I mean about his hair textures though? It's probably just my graphics. I'm sure they like look fine on to other people and I've done something to my graphics, but do you like this music? Oops, nope, I want to click on you. Before Noctis went into the portal, I could have sworn I saw a woman amidst the light, an ethereal beauty dressed all in white. And then I accidentally his fiancé. Man, sit in his oven glove. Perhaps so, and perhaps not. The sole person who could have enlightened us has vanished us into the light. Well, whoever or wherever Noctis' fiancé may be, I do hope they are reunited. Right, while events are still fresh on my mind, I shall return to my office and put pen to parchment. Master Sid, many thanks for your cooperation. But the most thanks of all I reserve for you, my dear adventurer. In no small part due to your help, Noctis managed to find his way home, and my article can reach a climactic conclusion. See that you do not miss it. We'll see if I can read by the time the article comes out, at the rate I'm going. A strangely charismatic young man was Noctis. In the end, we never learned of the circumstances of his coming here. But if he has a thing he must do back home, as that Gyarados-like being said, perhaps this was a trial that he had to overcome along his journey. At any rate, old friend, I believe our work here is done. Wherever the long road may lead him, may Noctis ever ride in the light of the crystal. I like that. Took me a second to get right in the light of the crystal, but I really like the phrase, may you ever walk in the light of the crystal. Dope. Thank you for giving me your clothes, Noctis. Can buy things. I love that. Brother from another mother crystal. That is, great. Why? Yeah, what? Huh? No. Shift T, that's what I want. Golden saucer. I do, if I remember correctly, this event is on for another 2... Is this on to the end of the patch cycle? Is this on till June, or is it just another month? Can't remember. Anyway, the most important thing is time for car. Okay, so it's on for like a month, just under a month and a half. 5 weeks-ish. That makes sense, I suppose, given that the early access for Shadowbringers starts a month after that, so I'm just trying to think, like, how much do I feel like grinding the fate. So where is the person I need to speak to? Ironworks vendor here, obviously, the place where I didn't look. Dope. Give me that car. I kind of want the hair, but I also kind of don't, you know? A deed certifying your ownership of a brand new vehicle embossed with a regalia crest is a symbol of authenticity. I know how multi-seat mounts work. What I can't remember is... Here it is. Show up. Does here scintilla equal parts elbow grease and gumption were all that was required to the type G for Garland, fully operational, when in all truth the otherworldly character most likely required an amazing amount of reverse engineering to recreate. Makes them imposing. Do they truly believe it makes them look more imposing? Or are they just merely compensating for something? I love that. I love it specifically because of how much frickin' muscle cars annoy me. Ah. Sorry, I am getting distracted. Right, who is the person I need to talk to hand stuff over? Ick. 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 I'm gonna assume they're up here on the basis of this is where people usually are. Ick. Immediately distracted by eggs. Okay. Egg. Okay. Important question. If I was a person to whom Ironworks hand, here we go. Egg. Okay. So we need 5. Oh, I don't know. I'll do that one on the basis of it has the coolest name. So I'm gonna chuck some of these out of my inventory now. So pretty. Do you mean not yet ready? Okay, yeah, I mean, the one I joined earlier took like a handful of minutes, so I don't know. Let's see, it's 10 o'clock. God, it's so bright. Move this way. I don't know, it's just gonna be like this no matter where I stand, I guess. That's some mimosa for you. Okay, so it really should not take that long to farm. Okay. In that case, well, I'm not going to farm it on stream either way, because I feel like that would be bad video content. Instead, I'm going to swap back to Summoner. I'm going to repair my shit, first of all. Equip the correct glamour, obviously. I'm going to sign up for bone monasteries, because I do need this week's. And in the meantime, we're just gonna suffer for a little bit. Yeah, I'm in hell in terms of, like, tombstones, because I have one more, possibly two, a handful more items, but it's like 1,000 odd. And if I capped, like if I hit the 900 cap every week, then it would only take me like 2 weeks, which is pretty dope, because then I could start working on Dark Knight, which I'm thinking I'm going to need to start leveling up for. Well, I have it at 70, obviously. I'm going to need to start gearing up for a number of reasons. Which, yeah, are exciting. If I got one line, I could get my Jensen's tombstones, but I'm back on Monday. I could do it Monday afternoon, I suppose. Sorry, I'm getting distracted. We should do Wondrous Tales rather than Bone Monastery if Bone Monastery's going badly. Anyway, now that we've done the 15 event, I'm gonna blather for a bit about Berlin, so feel free to yell at me if I get boring at any time. I'm not very good at, like, running through stories, so I'll try and remember the exciting things that happened. So OBS, I left on Thursday. It was actually it was a surprisingly easy journey over. I feel like whenever I travel, there's a part of me that always expects the worst, and actually getting there was, like, the train was fine, it was, you know, smooth as butter. I actually really like Manchester Airport, so I was fine when I was there. I was like, oh yeah, I have a tiny bit of a headache, but it cleared up pretty easily. I actually had time to get a coffee before I left, which is my favourite thing to do, because the Starbucks is right next to the train station, and it's great for me, bad for my wallet. So it was a really smooth journey over. I didn't get lost on my way to the hotel. Checked into the hotel and it was lovely. I stayed in, I'm not there anymore so I don't mind saying, it was called the B&B Charlottenburg, which was, it was about 20 minutes, maybe less than that, 15 to 20 minutes depending on the wait time at the subway, to the convention centre, which is the main thing that I wanted, because I was looking for somewhere near the convention centre and cheap. Everywhere right near it was really expensive, but actually where I wound up staying was a really great area, because there was stuff around and there were like good subway connections, but it was 334. Oh, it's that time. Let's see, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, 5 nights, €230 is about 66 euro per night, which at present is about £50 a night, which either way it was cheaper than most of the Premier Inns that I booked through work. So it was really affordable. It was definitely, like, the whole thing was definitely a treat. But my defense is that I haven't been on prop holiday in ages, so it was, you know, my treat to myself was going away. And yeah, Thursday was pretty chill. I went to a pizzeria that was recommended on the internet, and I felt really bad because I was like the only person in the pizzeria, but I had a really good pizza and it was not too expensive. That was the first and last time that anything in Berlin was not too expensive, because boy howdy is that city pricey. I feel like it's like the same price as London. It's just that I've not lived in London for a couple of years now, so I'm used to Nottingham prices, where, you know, like my baseline is like a rum and coke from a Spoons, and double rum and coke from the Spoons here is like £4, £5. It's easily dancing, like it's easily flirting with the tenner in London these days. There's a reason that I very rarely get drunk on nights out, is because I can't fucking afford it in London. I may have to like stop my rambles to like pay attention now that I'm in the Bone Monastery, but whatever. I'm only DPS, so it doesn't really matter as long as they don't die, I suppose. Oh no, poor Black Mage. Ley line straight into an AoE. It's destined to happen. So yeah, it was pretty chill. And then, I at that point was like, after I got back from dinner, I was like zombied out from traveling. So, I went straight the fuck to bed. The only issue, and I wouldn't even necessarily call it an issue with where I was staying, it's more like just a thing to bear in mind, is that it was on a very busy road. And I happened to be on the side of the hotel that had like a viewpoint over the busy road. And for me, I don't particularly care, because again, emphasis on the grew up in London. Like, I'm used to busy roads. Like, yeah, I lived, should say, in London under a flight path. Like, it's really quiet where I am presently, because even though there is a busy road, I have backwards facing flats, so I face some gardens and a cricket ground. The noisiest bit is like kids playing cricket in summer, waking me up on the weekend with their friendly English cheers to each other. But there was definitely polices and fire engines and probably ambulances and traffic all night, which it didn't keep me up by any means. The other thing is, I feel like the heating in the hotel was slightly broken. I had the window open the entire time, like even on the days that it was freezing, but I'll get to that in a minute. So Friday I overslept, unsurprisingly, and started a trend of not having time to get coffee or breakfast. Well, I could get breakfast at the hotel, but because I consistently overslept, I gave up on that idea and I had a Kit Kat and a Diet Coke for breakfast. And then I met up with No Name, who some of you may know through the AP3 Discord. No Name actually lives a few hours away from Berlin, but they have a cousin who lives in Berlin, so they were able to stay with a cousin. And then I met up with them Thursday morning, and they gave me we had a sort of a walking and slightly subwaying tour. It was a good time. Let's see if I can remember all the places we visited. So we did Berlin Cathedral first and foremost, and I would like it on the record that of the 3 summoners in the group, the summoner who pulled was not me. Ain't stopped me being sarcastic about it though. Sorry. So anyway, we did Berlin Cathedral first, which I loved because I love churches and old buildings. And we, what side is left? Climbed up onto, climbed up is not the correct word. We walked up to, you can walk around the dome. So we walked all the way up there, which was, it was a workout. And it was especially bad because I was, at that point, still quite tired, and also, rather more importantly, was wearing my binder. So I had very limited lung capacity, and let me tell you, it was pretty painful. But that being said, I'm going to sneeze directly into my mic again. sorry about that. I think I'd learned to mute myself, but the mute function on my mic does not always work. Oh, I can feel it coming. The cold is coming. Sorry, it was really gross snuffling directly into the mic. So yeah, we like walked up around the dome, and it was a really great. It was good to do it like first thing in the morning. I think because hell yeah, I managed to do that without being in the middle of a phase change. Lagged a little bit, but otherwise survived. It was a really good way to get, even though it was quite misty and foggy on the Thursday, got a really nice like view of, on the Friday rather I should say, got a really nice view of the city, and it was super dope. And then we wandered over to Museum Island, where I feel like it could have spent a day. And we went to the Pergamon Museum, and I got to see the Ishtar Gate up close and personal, and realised I only took 2 crappy pictures of it. But for those of you non-classicists in the crowd, the Ishtar Gate is a incredibly stunning piece of architecture, I guess is the way to put it. It's just like... It was a gate on a guy's castle, but it is just absolutely stunning, and they have the whole thing, and it's imposing in exactly the way that I imagined it to be, and I'd actually studied it quite a lot at university, because one of my courses was on ancient Near East and ancient Middle East, and I was gonna say I studied it, and now I can't remember who built it. But either way, it was beautiful, and unfortunately most of the museum was shut because they are doing refurb works at the moment, so we didn't get to see a huge amount, but we wandered around and had a good time, and it was good. And then what did we go after that? Got lunch. I had currywurst. And then I feel we did do a couple of the other memorials and stuff in the city, and then we went over to everyone is fucking dying. We went over to the LGBT history-esque museum. It's not just history, I should say, rather. Like, it was a variety of things, but it was a really great museum. Not just in terms of like the content, but also in terms of like the way that the museum was put together, and it was, I would like 100, if you're ever in Berlin, it's the Schulz Museum, I'm sure I'm pronouncing that incorrectly. I would 110% recommend it. It's very good. I don't know how long it's on for, but they did have an exhibition on LGBT themes within video games, which I found really interesting, because obviously I love the video game, but also because obviously a lot of it was talking about indie games, because there is a lot of creative freedom for including those themes within indie games, more so than in AAA perhaps, and almost every game that they mentioned, I was like, I played that. If I hadn't played it, I'd heard of it. There's things like they talked a lot about Butterfly Soup, which it has been recommended to me. I'm just, spending money on things is not my ideal, my idea of an ideal night out. So either way, it was just a really good museum, and then we finished off by going to the Technology Museum. That was so much fun, my guys. We had a look at the trains, but honestly the trains were kind of a letdown, and that was most of why I wanted to go. this is my professional opinion, having been to 2 train museums. Well, I suppose the Science Museum does include some train-related stuff. York's train museum was better. But, like, that being said, it was by no means bad. It was just a letdown compared to York. But across the way, they had... I was about to compare it to the Science Museum, and I realised I don't know if any of you guys have ever actually been to the Science Museum in London. If you had, they had a thing very similar to the launch pad. I am in the death zone. I'm straight up in that death zone. Anyway, it was like the launch pad, and it was super dope, is the phrase I would use. That's really annoying. But we only had half an hour, so we like poked all the buttons and pressed all the things. And then... at least I died in between cycles, so my stuff was up. And then I was going to say No Name went home because the cousin they were staying with was getting them dinner, and I went back to the hotel to like charge my phone and also rest my feet. And then I went out for No Name. Honestly, all you've missed is me talking about Thursday. I'm trying to like do this raid at the same time, Friday even. So, where are you, dude? I'm going very slowly on the basis of if I res that guy, it will put me in the wrong direction and then I will die. Ah, somebody else got him. Okay, I'll grab our dead samurai over there. So after that point, I wasted an ether flow, and then I went, oh fuck's sake, it's really annoying. Went out for dinner with some of the Solve people. So there were Dark Insanities, Preachy and Nightbites, who I already knew, and I also met Luca, Queen Lucanai on Twitter and on Twitch and various other places. Exactly, yeah. It was very good timing, actually, No Name. And Dokkenbop was there, and Luca's partner, or fiance now, I suppose, who I feel bad because I've completely forgotten his name. But we went and had Indian, and it was a good time, and then afterwards I was incredibly tired, and so I passed out. I did collect my badge first, actually, before doing the food to save time on Saturday, and then I forgot to summon my pet. That's great. Where the hell is the safety zone? Jesus wept. Not oh. Fuck that.
With this, my journey can, at long last, come to an end.
The words are difficult. What do we got? I'll read on that. Pass on that. Our tank is grumpy. Anyway, Saturday dawned bright and early, and I overslept again, and made it to the TwitchCon at some point in the morning. I feel like I spent most of the day like in panels, but it's kind of what I was there for, so no, I'm not fucking ready. I'm pretty certain the person who's grumping back at the tank now is the person who pulled or it could have been faked Wrath. Anyway, I'm confused by things. Do it at 5, not 15. Sorry, I'm criticizing Puggies and getting distracted. just wasted 10 seconds of that aspect of Helios. Anyway, if you do it at 5, it pops like just before you pull, and then it's pretty cool. Oh, legs has gone to sleep. Oh god, a bad time. So to be honest, given my shit memory, my like memory of the sequence of events, it's kind of the garbages. But
to the current of life we succumb. Its judgment swift and final. Its bite as cold as steel.
I'm to do the thing. So it's a good one, that, because you can just like sit there and not do anything for a second and like shuffle yourself about. Let's see. I think the first thing I did is I did the shopping first thing because I was scared of stuff selling out. And I got the water bottle, which it was like £20. It was way pricier than I was expecting, but I don't mind because the reason I'm not showing it off to you now is because fuck's sake, I was in my phase. Don't do that to me when I'm in the phase. Oh, I'm not going to be able to death flare. Nothing's going to pop before I can death flare. At least I'm in Bahamut. Good Agmon. Right. I just... There's no point. I'm just... waste my Bahamut. I shouldn't have Bahamuted there, actually. That was Mabby. Well, somebody murdered us all. It's fine, I got distracted. So I got the water bottle, which so far has not leaked into my bag, which I like because I've had really bad luck with those. As soon as I saw that I had it, I was like, that's the thing for me, that's the thing that I want. And I got a TwitchCon EU 2019 badge, which is on my backpack now. And I also got a t-shirt. I did not get the exclusive t-shirt because Shield and Time, you piece of shit. I preferred the way good thing I was in between phases. I didn't necessarily like the way that the
dreams of men are fleeting, yet they must be embraced if
exclusive shirt looked.
Have you the faith to do as much?
So I just got one of the normal like TwitchCon shirts. We are gonna fucking die. We are gonna fucking die. Death is imminent upon us. I did the shoppings and then I met up with Frici and Oro, and let's see, we were going to go to the Streaming 101 panel, but they had screwed up and accidentally linked it to the Sunday run rather than Saturday one, which meant that although we had no idea at the time, it was in German, so we did not go to that. We went to the I can't remember exactly what it's called, but it was the no, it wasn't Community with Moderation. I can't remember. Anyway, it was the one that was taking place at the same time as Streaming 101 that was in English. We went along to that one. I remember it being not necessarily like the most helpful, but it was okay. And then let's see, after that was a bit of a break, so wandered around the convention floor for a bit. I was kind of let down by the expo hall, but I feel like it may also have been like almost like me not taking advantage of it. Like, I understand it was there to allow you to like talk to lots of people, and like I understood what it was there for, but it also felt a little bit like a little bit of a letdown. And I don't know, it was just kind of weird. I wandered around it like both days, and I don't know, I was unimpressed by it. But we did meet Ed, the former community manager for Elite Dangerous, who is now a community manager for Bethany Esda, and chatted to him, and I felt really bad because I had no idea who he was. I was just like chatting to this guy like, I don't actually play Elite Dangerous. I do have it, I just really struggled to get into it, although I am aware that there is an update to make it better for beginners, which I am very excited for, because I will play it when that update comes out. But, oh. Alliance C, a B even have lost a deeps, but that's okay. I know they've lost a healer, that's okay, but the healer's back now. Anyway, we did some chatting, did some wandering, I went to get food, and at this point did not realise that there were food trucks outside, so had a terrible sandwich. I'm mentioning it on the basis that it was truly awful. I like choked it down because I was so tired. And I went to another panel, which I believe, because Fruit Nora went into town to get actual food, and I went to the diversity panel, which was that diversity? No, it was not the diversity panel. I went to another panel that I can't remember. Must have been great. But so it's the thing. So the panels that I went to, I did the diversity panel on Saturday. I think it was like managing your community with moderation, like how to use moderation in like a positive way for your community, which hasn't affected me super much due to being still quite small. But it was one of those where I was like, hey, this could be really, really helpful for the future, and like it's good knowledge to have. And actually, I didn't necessarily find it as helpful as some of the others, but nonetheless, it was pretty useful. And I also went to that one on, I think it was like building a community or something. I don't know. It wasn't, the first panel was kind of underwhelming. The standout one for me on Saturday was the diversity panel, and there's a couple of reasons for this, and the primary one for me is that, the host for it was Stacey of Gotham, who, as soon as she started, I was like, follow a disabled NB person. I like. I really liked her. She did a great job. Also, hang on, I've got to pay attention now, bear with me. Everything done? Okay, dope. The other thing was that, I'd actually heard one of the panelists for the first and last time. I have what some might call a not great history with diversity panels. I used to go to, when I was in London, I went to a lot of literature conventions, and a lot of them put on a diversity panel, but they are often, dare I say it, not great. Diversity panels, I feel like they tend to be one of those things that a lot of conventions are like, I guess we should put one on, but they don't necessarily put too much thought into the actual running of it. This one was really well done, and as I found out today, it's because it was, the whole panel was written by the host, so by the moderator I should say rather, so a lot of it was that she did a really great job creating this panel, which was super cool, but also like sucky for her to have to like moderate it, and either way. It was one of the better diversity panels that I have been to, and again, a lot of it was...
Yet they must be embraced if they are to flourish. Have you the faith to do as much?
The problem I have with diversity panels is that they tend to be like... they tend to be like, oh, what's the value of diversity? Why is diversity important? And I'm like, I don't need somebody to tell me why diversity is important. I know that. What I want to know is, as a diverse creator, that doesn't make sense, but, you know, as disabled, as queer, as non-binary, give the advices, please. And also, like, how can I make my streams and my content more accessible for other people? Like, how can I make my zone a nicer zone? And in that sense, it was, what if these people have been focusing on the wrong night this entire goddamn time? Sorry.
Oh, divine light, send us from our sins. Gaze deep into the light.
Well, listen, we did a great job in C, so whatever. I'm not voting abandoning. We've only wiped twice. I will do if it gets to 11 o'clock, because I'm going to end stream and go to bed, but, okay, well... I was about to say, don't leave me in there by myself. Whatever, we'll do, it's not gonna get done the next half hour. Whatever, we'll do some Wondrous Tales instead. I'll do some other relets, see what Wondrous Tales looks like. What do we got, actually? So we've got Ball of Embers, Striking Tree, Limitless Blue, and Whirl Eater, and Zervan. I'm not gonna do Zervan, because he scares me. What about raids? Got B-Cob and Breath of the Creator. The Sigma Escape 4.0. I got really bad hiccups. Sweet Pistol. Okay, let's do some relets instead. So the end of my rant is that this diversity panel was I thought a genuinely good one, and it sort of did the things that I wanted, which was advice on almost like looking after yourself as somebody who may not always be well received, I guess, and also advice on like creating a safe space and a safe zone within your streams for other people, which I definitely came away from it with the things that I wanted, which was good. It was a good time. What else did I do that day? I feel like I did other stuff. Oh, the Saturday highlight for me was my like fan. It was the only like fan being moment I really had all weekend. Hello, it's Colo was, I did not realise, I just went to go meet up with Dokkenbot and Luca and Luca's partner and Night Bites to after the panel, because wanted to sit with people that I knew, and I did not realise until like after I gathered, but Colo was there, and it was definitely, as Dokkenbot, I think, as you said on the Sunday, like, it was one of those cool moments where you're like, this person is just as like weird and awkward and like nerdy and like they're just another person. I don't know if I would necessarily call it a fan being moment, because I've definitely had much worse fan being moments. But it was, for me, one of those occasions where I was like, it's a person I admire who makes content that I really like, and they're in front of me, and we're playing a card game, only I'm very anxious and cannot, like, make a fool of myself in front of... I mean, obviously I can make a fool of myself in front of other people, otherwise why would I stream? But I was just like, I am very anxious. But either way, it was just really cool. It was a good time. What else did I do on Saturday? I feel like I went to another panel, but it can't have been that great because I can't remember. I know I did a diversity panel. I feel like I possibly did one after that. Either way, eventually, we, whoops, shit, fuck, shit. Let's cleanse that doom. Eventually, we, left the convention center and went to go have food, and abruptly in, like, the middle of, well, after the eatings, rather, I should say, why did I do that? I should have forgotten how to play this fucking game. I just abruptly had the moment where this is where we need to stand still. I had the moment where, you know, in your body it's just like, hey, no. I had that, so I kinda split, and the impression I got is that everyone else also had that, like, fucked up. Everyone else also had that, like, moment of, like, okay, we need to stop now. So, I had, like, a really cool and hip Saturday night where I went back to my hotel room and slept. And that's what I spent my Saturday doing. I did possibly indeed get a cursed or boner. We wiped twice in Agrias and disbanded, so I'm doing this instead now. Well, that sure is a meteor straight up on my head. Yes, we wiped twice in quick succession, and it was the cursed boner. Beated. Sorry, Osterby. You know I make fun of you for your typos, like, out of love, because they do not happen as often as mine. So they stand out more when they occur. Whereas, like, my typos are just like, that's Mochi again. They're typing. Must be an issue. As long as you are, it's not intentionally malicious, just, you know, just me being me. What was I saying? Saturday night. Da-na-na-na-na-na-na. I know it is Saturday night. Unless I don't know words anymore. There goes our main tank flying off the edge. Sorry, main tank. Everyone else is gonna get the crits. Oh no. Oh no, but also big mood. Meteor keeps, like, flying into my face and it's doing me an alarm. This guy wasn't on my turn. No, I needed Sigma 3 for my Wondrous Tales. I have got that already. Okay, I'll need on these even though I don't super need them, just for the halibut. So, wow. Nobody else needed on anything, so I'm getting all of them. Dope. And 2 comms as well. I bet there's 2 comms are from the DPS that I boosted. I think I'm gonna do a trial roulette and see how I feel after trial roulette. Because oh boy, I'm getting really sleepy here. I might finish stream early and oh it's Lakshmi. I like Lakshmi. It's buzzing the clock. Anyway, I've forgotten what I was talking about. Saturday night. Baby. I went back to my hotel room and I slept and I ate lots of painkillers, as one does. And the game was excessively loud. And that was what I did. Got distracted by how much I like the song. I feel like I've accidentally tanked this one before and it made me want to cry. Sorry, words are difficult. So, Sunday I overslept. You may notice a theme running here. So, I was a little bit late. But, you know, I did the thing. Dosed up on painkillers and made it in, and I was having the fun body thing on the Sunday where standing up was just, it was not happening. So there goes our black mage. Oh, there we go. Ah, God. Good. Everyone's up on that real stuff. What a good transition, eh? Anyway, so as a result of the bad body times, I spent most of Sunday in panels, which was not actually a bad thing. It just meant that I didn't like do as much socializing, but really I was okay with that because I was not doing so hot in the being a functional human department. What panels did I attend? So the memorable, again, the standout panel for me was the Streaming with Disabilities panel that your friend and mine, Night Bites, was on, which was really good. And like, I say that not just because like a friend of mine was on there, but also because like it was genuinely a really good stream. And again, it was the combination that I was hoping for of here's how to make your streams and your content more accessible to like other disabled people, and like here is like how to survive streaming, I guess, like as a disabled person. It was that good like combination of the two that like worked really well for being exactly what I wanted, which was dope. Did I put the right sect on? I did, thank fuck for that. That moment of terror where you think, oh god, I've done the wrong sect and now I need to die.
Your souls are stained.
No, that's something else that's stained. So it was that person can move slightly left. I would not have to drop my AoE on the fucking tank's head. It'd be great. It'd be lovely.
I shall free you from your hate.
The other ones I went to. So I went to the essential legal advice and the essential business advice ones, which I know that I wrote down those because I was like taking notes on all of them, also to like write up on the website whenever I end up doing that whole thing. And like I know I wrote down lots, but I now can't like super remember much, which I think tells you a lot about like the panels. They were by far and away good panels and really helpful. I feel like they would have been more helpful for people more popular than me, shall we say. At this state, at like the streaming level that I'm at, they were not necessarily the most helpful. But like, I got distracted by dying there. It was,
Surrender to bliss. Your souls are stained.
they were both really good panels. So that is good. How the one did I go to? I did go to the Article 13 panel, and I have to say, I feel like I don't understand it any more after the panel than I did before. Please don't, you're about to drop that directly on my noggin. Nonetheless, I think for people who at that point were less brain foggy than I was, it would have been really helpful. But that was one of those where that was the one that I guess it felt almost like the most professional. And that's not necessarily the way that I want to describe it, but it felt, God, there's bad stuff everywhere and it's making me sad. I think it, yeah, definitely my takeaways that would have been really helpful if I had not at that point, had so, like, my brain was really foggy at that point. I can't remember what. I can't remember what other ones I attended. But, you know, all in all, the panels were good. I'm so tired now. I need to, like, finish this and have a shower and go to bed. All in all, I would say that the panels were good. They were ultimately helpful. I know what I did on Saturday that I forgot about. We did the Twitch keynote, which had, you know, some pretty good news, which was exciting. Given the way that everything's been going at the moment, good news is always welcome. And then, so Sunday evening, most people wound up going home a bit earlier. I think a lot of people were tired, so Dokkenbop and I did the Twitch Yearly, which was pretty cool. And it was, as he put it, it was a really good way of, like, rounding off the convention, because it felt like it was a good way of, like, putting a cap on it and saying, this is done now. You have to go back to the real world in a few days. Which was, it was really cool. Like, it was a good time. I'm sure I'm forgetting stuff that I did on Sunday, and that's because I'm me. But it was a good time. And then it was evening, and I went home, and at that point I was crashing home, went back to the hotel. At that point I was crashing hardcore. It was, see, Twitch Yearly was at like 7 or 8. I don't know, it was 7 o'clock, so we finished at 8, which means I got back at like 8:30, and I had a shower, and I'd like changed in my pajamas, and then I was like, I should put some clothes back on and go out for food. But any of you who've ever bound will know this. When you shower, it's nigh impossible to put a binder on after having a shower for a while. So at that point I gave up on the idea of going out for food, and instead I just didn't, and I thought about getting takeaway, and then I thought about the amount of money I'd left on my credit card, and I decided just not to. So I just survived. And that was TwitchCon itself. I've got mixed feelings on it. Yeah. So I spent Monday exploring. So I woke up not bright and early, but, you know, early enough, and I went into town to a cafe called Romeo and Romeo for breakfast, and I had a good bagel and a really good mocha. It was made with oat milk, which I'd never tried before, but I really liked. And it was one of the first times I'd been to an independent coffee shop and had a coffee that wasn't burnt, which I loved. So if you're ever in Berlin, I would recommend Romeo and Romeo. I had a good time. It wasn't too expensive. The coffee was nice. The food was nice too. And I had a really good atmosphere as well. And then I wandered around town for a bit, and I'm trying to remember what I did now. Let me think. I remember what I did. So the first thing I did is I did the East Side Gallery, and I wandered along the wall and wandered along the East Side Gallery, which was super dope. I got a lot of photos and a lot of video from there, and it was really, really, it was a good time. And then I went to the video game museum. I had a nosebleed by East Side Gallery, by the way. Just a fun fact. It's another bit of Berlin that I've accidentally bled on. And not bled on, rather, but bled near. I went to the video game museum, which again was super dope. I would have loved to spend more time there. However, it was a Monday, and I guess Easter holidays had started, and it was full of children, and the children were driving me around the bend at that point. So I wandered around the video game museum, and I gave it my patronage. And I would love to go back because it was really cool way of. It was a cool museum. It was really, really cool. They'd done a really good job creating a museum that was sort of interactive and interesting and really worth visiting, in my opinion. Just not at a time when it would be full of small children. Because I had my fill. I was ready to explode. So I went and got lunch at a cafe, which I now realise was a chain, but it looked like a hipster cafe, and also I'd remembered seeing it on like a thingy of like good places to get breakfast, so I was like, I'll go here. And I had a good lunch and a good coffee, and it was a good time. And then I did do Checkpoint Charlie, and I did the Berlin Wall. I don't think I did the memorial. I did I didn't wind up going to the Berlin Wall Museum, actually. I think just because it was just with the timing of the day. But I did that whole area, and And there was a bus conveniently from there directly to the Botanical Gardens, which is where I spent the evening. And the Botanical Gardens were stunning. And you may be asking, why did I, a person with a known proven phobia of many plants, go to the Botanical Gardens? And it's because I wanted to see the pretty flowers and take pictures for my mum. Both of which were things that I did. And it was just absolutely gorgeous. And it was like the perfect weather for it as well. Because it's a thing, right? So it was Thursday, it was kind of overcast, kind of chilly. It was alright. Friday, most of Friday, again, kind of overcast, kind of chilly. You had to zip your coat up, but you weren't, it wasn't freezing. And then when No Name and I were walking between museums, I stopped to get some cash out, and it fucking hailed on us. I did get a video of it. I don't think it came across very well, but it will be in my video whenever that goes up. And then on Saturday, it snowed on me while I was waiting for the subway to the convention centre. And then it was really rainy and gross on Sunday. And then Monday was absolutely stunning. Gorgeous, gorgeous weather. Absolutely lovely. And I had a really good time. I wandered around the Botanical Gardens. And then I went back to the hotel and charged my phone. And I went to a burger place called Winterburger, which I think would have been... Hello, Kimana. Welcome to stream. You've come in time for me to wrap up soon. I'm just rambling about my TwitchCon experiences and all the various foods that I ate. So, it was a good time. Anyway, welcome to this shenaniganry. I hope that you are doing well. Yeah, it was a good time. Yeah, no, absolutely. It's just that it's nearly 11 o'clock and it's 11 o'clock my time and time for me to go to sleep. So I'm just rambling about TwitchCon for now. Wambling away. I'm Jonathan Wass. So yeah, I went to Windburger, which I think would have been really good if you were with a small party or going on a date or going out with some friends. It is entirely too crowded and busy and loud for a large party, and I was like in and out like a light because it was crowded and noisy, and I was at that point very tired and very anxious. So I had dinner and headed back to the hotel. And then I had the hellscape that was trying to get home on Tuesday, but I'll tell that story in a minute. Because TwitchCon for me sort of ended Monday night almost. Overall, I've been thinking about this. Overall, I enjoyed it. Overall, that I'm really glad that I spent the money on it. But definitely the biggest value for me was in like the socializing and the meeting people and the being able to talk to people, which was really cool. And I feel like I didn't do as much of it as I could have done, but it's because, as I kept saying, you take like an online person and you put them offline and surround them with people that they haven't met before, and certainly I will just clam up. I'm just not very good at talking, unfortunately. But it was really cool to meet people and to hang out. It was a lot of fun. And actually also I found I know there were mixed feelings on the panels. Most of the panels that I attended, I found interesting and helpful and worth attending. And they were generally pretty good. The expo hall, convention hall itself, I found kind of disappointing. But maybe it was just not aimed at someone like me. Or I was not in the right mindset to, say, take advantage of it. But such is life. And I guess because I'm not really, I was gonna say I'm not a fan of many Twitch streamers, and that's not quite right. It's just I didn't know many of the people going. I only knew I knew two panelists before their panels, and one of them is like one of the only big Final Fantasy XIV creators whose content I'd never consumed before that point. They could have got literally any of the other famous 14 creators and I would have known them. It would just happen to be Heal Me Harry as the one that I just never got around to watching his streams and stuff. But I don't know, obviously the other one was Nightbites, but I feel like from a fan perspective, I have absolutely no clue what it was like, because I didn't know many of the people. I didn't know anyone doing meetups or like meet and greets. I barely knew any of the panelists. I was just like, who is this person? It's supposed to be more on me than anyone else, but I don't know what it would have been like as a fan. But overall, I had fun, and I also think part of that for me is because I did like couch it in a holiday, which is like one of the first holidays, the first real holiday I've had in like outside of Nottingham in 2 years. It's the first time I'd been outside of the UK in a while, and it's the first time I'd been like outside the UK and France for absolutely ages, because normally if I go outside the UK it's just north of France. So it was cool. Overall, a good experience, well worth it in my opinion. And Monday night I was a bit like, oh, you know, I packed up and I was like, oh, I'm really mopey. I don't want to go back to England. I don't want to go back to work. I'm like, oh, a bit mopey. And then I had the thing, you know, you have to wake up early and you can't sleep. So I really struggled to sleep Monday night, and because I knew I had to wake up. So I woke up at 6:30. Left the hotel at about 7:15. I was aiming to get to the airport for 8 for my 11 a.m. flight. That didn't happen because I got a bit lost on my way down, so I got there for 9. And I was panicking a bit because I was thinking, oh, this is the only flight back to Manchester, and my other option would be to like buy another plane ticket to Stansted or stay here the next night, neither of which are good options. So I was panicking a bit, and so I like legged it through the airport, and I got to where the gates are, and I was like, okay, this is fine. You know how normally before a flight the gate opens like an hour to 45 minutes beforehand? Well, that time came and went, and then 10:35 when they said the gate closed, came and went. We're on idle camera now because I've been hanging out, so we'll just enjoy idle camera for a bit. And then 11:05 when the flight was supposed to be came and went. And it turns out that it was because a military plane had... Some places were saying there was a crash, other places were not saying there was a crash. As far as I can tell, basically a plane was taking off from the airport, a military plane, had a technical issue and had to land and had a wobbly bad landing. So they like checked the people, and the people were fine. There were no injuries, there were no passengers on board. It was just like pilot, co-pilot. And then they were struggling to get the plane off the runways. So of course all of the flights were delayed, and Ryanair, being Ryanair, did a terrible job of communicating any of this to us on the website. My flight did not exist on the website until like 4:30 German time, and I know this because I was checking all the time, and I've got screenshots with proof of it. So it was a mess. We were in... So I was trying to do my maths earlier, and I feel like I fucked up my maths. We were in Berlin Airport for about 6 hours. I spent about 8 hours there in total, I think. Maybe I'm misremembering. Either way, I think the flight actually left at like... I want to say it was like 5:20 German time. I can't remember. It was a 2-hour flight, so I got in at like 6:30-ish. You know, legged it to the train station. Turns out there were some other people who were actually on the same flight who were also stuck in Berlin airport. So we wound up chatting, and we met up in Manchester afterwards, and made it at long last after this hellscape of 8 hours in Berlin airport, in the shitty airport, where I had a fun panic attack and had to ring my mum, and my mum was like, I'm just gonna also have a small panic here. It was fine, we made it through. I did not die of my panic attack, which I thought I might do. Survived that. Got to Manchester, Manchester airport, trains were a bit late but fine. Got to Manchester, got the train back to Nottingham. And I thought, okay, I've done this before several times. It's just under 2 hours. It's fine. It's not a bad journey. It's whatever. I'll just, put my podcast on. It'll take me out 2 podcasts, and I'll just nap, and then I'll be in Nottingham. My train out of Manchester left at 7:20, so I was like, okay, I'll get home at like 7:40 rather. So like, okay, I'll probably get home for about 10 o'clock, which is late, but it's not the end of the world. Like that's okay. That's difficult, but not horrendous. Boy howdy, did I ever get stuck outside Sheffield for nearly an hour. If you did not know, Sheffield is about 2 hours straight north of me, and there was some issue with the tracks, and I was stuck there for nearly an hour. Guess what time I got home last night? That's right, lads. 11 o'clock at night. It took me, and I may have done my maths wrong here, hang on. If I left my hotel at 7 o'clock, which is actually 6, I've done my maths wrong. It was, because this is the thing, this is the reason, like, I mentioned how easy my journey over was, because my journey back was a nightmare. So I left at my hotel room at 7 o'clock German time, which is 6 o'clock English time, and I got in at 11 o'clock at night English time. So that is 17 hours? Roughly 17 hours, I feel like, between leaving my hotel room and getting back to my flat. And it was truly hellish. And this is the thing I hasten to add. It is not a long journey from here to Berlin. Let me think. So it would have taken me... It's so true, No Name. It's so true. I'm trying to think. It can't... So it took me 2.5 hours, I'm going to say, to get to Manchester Airport. And then there's like 3 hours beforehand, so that's, I'll call that 5. It's a 2-hour flight, 6, 7, and then an hour to the hotel, 8. So in total, it should have been 8 hours, large chunks of which would have been spent waiting, because of my compulsive need to get to places really early. Thank you for the dramatic music in the background, Bard. You can do it. I believe in you. Anyway, it was a fucking long day. I got home at 11 o'clock, and literally I'd ordered pizza while I was waiting for the bus home. The pizza arrived after I got here. I'd like taken my shoes off, my doorbell went. So went downstairs, got my pizza, like vaguely unpacked my bag, sat down and ate pizza on the floor in my pajamas while watching old Monster Factory videos. This bard is distracting me. Sorry. It was very cursed, but I'm going to end stream soon because my throat is starting to hurt and I need to go to bed. Yesterday aside, I really enjoyed TwitchCon. I had a good old time. Like, it was a lot of fun, and I got to meet cool bees, and I got to go to good panels about interesting things, and I bought good merch. I got my affiliate pin on Sunday, and I got my TwitchCon EU 2019 pin, and then I got the t-shirts, and I got the EU hoodie, which is really comfortable, and I got a water bottle, which hasn't yet leaked all over my bag, and I therefore like it. I think it was a good time. Like, I just really enjoyed it, and I'm miserable to be back now, even though it's literally a 2-day week. Speaking of which, it was terrible No Name as I didn't. You know how on Thursday I was like, Friday I'm getting not something plant related. I was at the Botanical Gardens and I saw that they had a gift shop, and I was like, oh, I bet they'd have some dope presents here. And I looked up on the website, and the shop was supposed to close at the same time as the greenhouses, which was 7 o'clock. Only apparently on this day only it closed an hour earlier, so it closed at 6, which was like as I was angling to go towards it. So I do not yet have a mum-shaped present, but I will sort something out. Like, I have an idea. I just need to wait till I get paid tomorrow so I can pay off my credit card and then buy the present, and I'll just get it sent directly to the house and be like, I'm so sorry, I am the worst child in the world. I spied with my little eye a fake Ostercat. From a distance, looked like an Ostercat and confused the hell out of me. Sorry. Flickering my thing on and off. speaking of Twitch and streams and me needing to go to bed, I'm gonna end this stream off here. And I'll say thank you very much for watching, everyone. It is very much appreciated, and I hope that you enjoyed. Welcome, new friends. I'd say that this is just me when I'm tired, but actually this is what I'm like all the time. So, if you like garbage people who are garbage, I'm here. I'm here for you. Also, I have glitter. I need to tell you what, that was the most cursed thing about the entire fucking holiday, is that I forgot my glitter, which I'm really annoyed at myself for, because obviously glitter is like my hashtag brand, you know, glitter and then the Three of Swords. So as soon as I left the house, I was like, I know where the glitter is. It's in a pot on my dinner table. I forgot the glitter. Anyway, I have glitter over here. I have a garbage person for garbage people, who is garbage but streams good things. Speaking of which, I'm gonna be streaming the Banner Saga 2 tomorrow. Of course, No Name, thank you for coming along. And thank you again for putting up with all my stupid questions and being an absolute lifesaver. When I was like panicking, like, I don't know what I'm doing. Trust me, it was very, 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 very appreciated. I know I asked some dumb ones, but thank you. It was very appreciated. And thank you for showing me around on the Friday. The Banner Saga Part 2, I'm going to be streaming that tomorrow. Well, you are also very, very awesome, No Name. So there. Banner Saga Part 2... No, the Banner Saga 2, the sequel to the Banner Saga 1. Tomorrow, 8:30 GMT. Please come along and watch it. It will be my first time playing the game, and I know it's slightly different from 1, both in story and in mechanics. And other than that, I know absolutely sweet fuck all. So it'll be good. There won't be any streams this weekend because I'm going to be away, so this is Saturday and Sunday, because I'm going to be in London. I might, maybe I'll do an IRL stream hanging out with the doggy. I don't know. We'll see. I've got enough data left. I IRL stream from the park, like running around with the puppy. As long as you guys don't mind the terrible audio and the fact that Twitch Mobile hates me. Either way, will be none of the scheduled streams this weekend because I'm going to be in London from Friday until Monday. But I will be streaming more Final Fantasy XIV next Tuesday, where, as usual, I have absolutely no clue what we'll be doing, but I'm sure it will be an adventure, and I'll probably have a lot of chocolate, so I might be very hyper. We'll see. Either way, it's time for me to end stream and go to bed, because I am crashing hardcore. And my throat is hurting, and I can feel the cold, like, on its way, and I just don't want to deal with it. So I'm going to go put myself to bed. So, swap over to the end screen, like the professional, clearly, streamer who can do, like, sensible things in a non-garbage way that I am. Can you guys, like, hear the sarcasm here? Because, I sure do intend it. Right, let's see who's live. Both Frichi and Oro are live, and I don't know who is gonna be. Oh, fuck's sake, go away, sorry. Me swearing at my computer. Let's go, host Oro. I don't know who's going to be live for longer. We'll find out. Anyway, we are going to go raid Dark Insanities. Dark Insanities is a good friend who is currently playing the new Overwatch things, I guess. I don't know how long he's going to be live for. If you want to participate in the raid, please copy and paste the text that will have just appeared in chat. I have got the hiccups. And yeah, thank you so much for watching, everyone. Let me see if I can type things correctly. Have a wonderful, wonderful evening. Thank you for coming along. I'm sorry that I'm so bad at everything. Also, the 15 crossover event was really fun. Take care, everyone, and I will see you guys tomorrow.